this Shanti mantra is from Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda, praying for peace in all spheres, from the heavenly region, intermediate region, in the earthly plane. May there be the peace in the water. May the peace be there in the grains. May the peace be there in the plants, in the forest, in the greeneries, and may all beings at peace. And peace in the all beings in peace also means may there be equilibrium maintained. If there is not a peace, for example, crops will be eaten away by insects, and it's imbalanced. It's a prayer that may there be rain on time, may the Prithvi Sasya Shalini, may the earth have abundance, may there be peace, so that may we live in harmony. This is the Shanti mantra for global peace. As I mentioned earlier, this was sung in the United Nations also, and even in the White House also. The experts have sung this one, praying for global peace. When we are praying for the global peace, means it is inclusive of us also. May there be peace in us also. Now we'll start. Before starting, we will start with the question and answer session. And a few people expressed they have questions. Who want to start? Who is the moderator? Yes, Julie, you put up your hand. Yes, welcome back from your holiday. You are overseas?
No, I've come back. I just came back yesterday.
Okay. No, you went overseas or within Australia?
No, overseas.
Okay, yes. Okay. Welcome back. Your voice says that one. Your voice has
changed. And then I actually lost a very, very close friend of mine while I was there. So she was only 48.
14?
48.
48. Oh.
She's actually, I don't know, she is a friend of yours on Facebook as well, Vaishali Shah in Melbourne.
So, she used to attend yoga, I think, Vaishali.
I think she did. Yeah. So it is quite a bit of a roller coaster journey right now, because I think since last 10 years she was sick. She had cancer. Oh. But we were always hopeful that she will come out. But just suddenly last 6 months she deteriorated and she just went. Anyway, Guruji, the question which I had was what it means to be realizing the true nature of consciousness. I mean, what is the true nature of consciousness? Like, if you could just throw some light on what exactly it means by realizing our true nature.
As we evolve, as our journey moves on, you are seeing what you see in Rishikesh. As you go up in the mountain, your panoramic view increases. The higher things dawns. At the foothill, what you see, that one as the ultimate, but as you go up in Himalayas further higher, the view you see, it will be a bigger picture. As we do the sadhana, before people who are not into sadhana, they think this is it, this is the ultimate. But as you start spending time for yourself, diving deep, you realize the world is much beyond than what your senses can perceive. The world is not just what your hands can feel or eyes can hear, ears can hear, much beyond that one. The consciousness dawns as we start going in, newer world dawns. The true consciousness, the earlier, what is changing, that is the ultimate. As you start going within the changeless, that is, you start looking out for the changeless, eternal, lasting. What you want to have it, even in the last minute of your life, what you are longing. Now you are close to 50, what you think now it is important, it may not be in 10 years time. But something you may be thinking, in 10 years time also I want to have it. In 20 years time also I want to have it. What is that one? There is an underlying current is there within everyone. We may know or we may not know. We may not know because we haven't thought about that one. When you start thinking something, I want that one till my last breath of my life. I would like to have it next life also. Something, there is an undercurrent is there, that focusing on that one, diving deep to unfold that one. What is that one? That is your consciousness. Inside there is something ticking is happening within you. Something is ticking, but because of the so much of noise in the outer world, we are not able to focus. But our yatra, Himalayan yatra, is one of the reasons we are going. Something is ticking within everyone. It is an opportunity for us to connect to that tick. What is that? What is that? Yeah, what is that? So that we can connect and explore that one. What is that I want to have? What I want in my ultimate, in the last minute of my life, may be different to you. Everyone is a traveler. Everyone is a traveler. We have come with a destination. But doesn't mean your destination is better than mine or my destination is better than somebody. God is everywhere. God sustains everything. It's everyone's, because God's beauty is there in everything is there. He's there in the flower, He's there in the plant, He's there in the birds. Doesn't mean where God is not there. When your consciousness opens, you see the divinity in that one. My full expansion of Julie's journey. Julie is saying, when it happens, it aligns with the divine beauty. When you expand fully, when it aligns fully, it synchronizes. That is, your individual consciousness is getting tuned with the divine consciousness. That is our sadhaka's journey. My unfoldment happen such that divinity manifests through me. That individual consciousness, when it connects to the divine consciousness, I start reflecting divinity through me. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a hearty prayer to Vaishali's soul also. As you mentioned, suffered a lot, and you pray for her.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah. And anyone, Kushi, you said you have a question.
Yeah, I did. I've just forgotten it. Can I ask after someone else has asked, please?
Okay, and your question can be, why I am forgetting?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I know why I'm forgetting because that's like my issues, I guess. But I just had a general question with Patanjali Yoga Sutra for the assignment that we're doing. for teachers training. I guess I wanted to say, like, what is kind of the what's kind of the significance of each of the padas, like that each of the chapters, and like why is it split up into 4 chapters, and kind of the structure of it. Like, was there a specific reason that the person who wrote it decided to split up, like, the understanding of yoga in that way?
Yeah, it's a good question. It is for ease of understanding. Sets of sutras are classified. The first chapter is called as Samadhi Pada. Samadhi means where you have to be. It puts your aspiration, gives an aspiration in your life. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Second, your ideal roadmap. You want to have a calm mind, serene mind. It gives a roadmap, Samadhi Pada. Second chapter talks about, yes, I have my goal is there in the first chapter, Samadhi. Come back to your own home. Second chapter talks about, yes, you want to come back, but what is the roadmap? How to travel? I don't know which road to take. Second chapter talks about the path you have to take. The third chapter, it is talking about when you want to travel on the way to ambitious to get back your home, but there are so many distractions come along. How to overcome the distraction and still you reach home on time. That is the third chapter. Fourth chapter, Kaivalya Pada, once you reach home, what will happen? Okay, these 4 chapters are addressing everyone's predicament, everyone's life. We want to come back home, but so many distractions, we don't know the path, and we don't know what we experience in the final when we reach home. Everyone wants to know. Patanjali is talking about. Thank you. It's a good question. Was that the question, or you just thought about now?
I just thought about that one now, but I can wait.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And any more comments, questions?
Guruji, I had one. It's regarding the mantra we always say after we once we end our class or towards the end. Naham Karta Hari Karta. What does it actually signify?
Signifies the mantra is Naham Karta Hari Karta. The meaning is I am not the doer. I am not the doer. It is whatever good or bad happens, it is the divine wish. I am doing the sadhana, 1 hour sadhana, 2 hour class you have done, not to be proud that you have done or you could not do. It is, do not take the credit or discredit for the outcome. At the end of the sadhana, I am able to meditate for 1 hour, then not to keep on saying that I did 1 hour of sadhana. Naham Karta Hari Karta. Then what is the next one? Tat Puja Karma Chakilam. Tat Puja, whatever I am doing, it is your worship. You are going to work. You can say that one at work also. It is a glorious day you had. You went to Noble Park office and morning till evening you worked. It was a beautiful outcome. You can still say, Naham Karta Hari Karta Tat Puja Karma Chakilam. Whatever I did from morning till evening, it's your worship. Tat Puja Karma Chakilam Tatapi Matkrita Puja Tat Prasada Deva Na Anyata. Whatever happiness I get, whatever outcome I get, it is nothing but the prasad from you. It is acceptance. Acceptance, accepting the outcome, not to, I have done my best. I have done my best. I regarded my action, whatever I had done, as worshipping you. And whatever results I get, I have done my best, and whatever outcome I get, I receive, I accept it as your prasad. That puts our mind at ease. Otherwise, we may be claiming we did so much, I should get that one. And results are not in our hand. It is also a karma yoga theory. Karmanye vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. This mantra echoes that karma yoga mantra also. I am doing my best, throwing my heart. Not that you accept anything. Yes, arguing with your boss to justify your work. That is also a puja. But even after doing everything, whatever outcome comes, you accept. Many things, world doesn't go as our wish. World goes according to his wish. Yes, you have to do your best. You have to argue with your customer or your boss, but outcome, you accept it. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Any more comment?
Guruji, this is Raj.
Yes, sir.
And one question was, this is the same actually, continuation of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So the second chapter, somewhere it's written sadhana path, somewhere it's written sadhan path. Which is the correct, and what's the significance if it's sadhana or sadhan are the same?
Sadhana, it's a sadhana pada. How to do the sadhana? Sadhak's pada means the sadhak, one who has to take this path, it is as a sadhana. Sadhak has to imbibe these ones as a sadhana. It is called a sadhak pada. But you can, yoga and its aims, first chapter in English. Second, you can call it as how to practice that one. Third one is called as Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti Pada, it talks about the glories, siddhis you get as you start doing practice. And the fourth one, if you doesn't get distracted with the siddhis, what you will achieve. I went to Yasvyasa. Yasvyasa, I know the founder of Yasvyasa, Dr. Nagendra ji, and his sister Dr. Nagaratna. Both are above 80 now. I went and saw her, Dr. Nagaratna. She has become senile, and I went and we were chit-chatting, and I presented my book also. She went through and she was happy, and she said, tell me, Rajendra, what siddhi you have acquired now? What are the siddhis you have? And she asked me that, looking at the profound book, I told her, only siddhi acquired I have is I don't have any siddhi. That is the only siddhi I have, that I don't have any siddhi. She was so happy to hear. She said, she never have heard that type of answer. I told, I don't have any siddhi, that is the only siddhi. So, that is the third chapter, it is talking about the siddhis. And the fourth is Kaivalya Pada. When you do not get drawn, tempted by siddhis, then what happens? Those are the four chapters. Yes.
I had one more, but if somebody else says they can go, and I can come back.
Anyone? Parvati, I haven't seen your assignment yet. I want more interest, commitment from our teachers. Yes, you have any question, Parvati? Yeah. Anyone else?
I have a question, if I can.
Yes, Christina.
That's like previous about Sura and Asura. Yes, the divine and demonic.
No, Asura means need not be demonic. Asura means not divine.
Not divine.
Not divine means even humans also are called as Asura because not divine. In the whatever not divine is Asura. Humans are also called as Asura, and the further down than humans, demons also called as Asura. And purpose is move. If you have demonic qualities, come to human consciousness. From human consciousness, elevate to divine consciousness.
So because if you go through these qualities of demonic beings, there are a lot of like people. Even if you, if I started to analyze, I also have some qualities that are a little bit remind me demonic that mentioned in this shloka. The question, if we talk about pure demonic, like you always talk about this from Mahabharata, Duryodhana, yes, because sorry, is he like a demonic person?
Yeah,
very. He's human.
No, he's a demonic to the core with the mask of a human. Many demonic people also take birth here with the intention of destroying, but they want to be, they put on the mask as a human. We see that one, Idi Aman and many people, they come in the form of, they put on the mask. And the Duryodhana, for example, he appointed, when Bhishmacharya fell down in the war, he appointed Dronacharya, and Dronacharya was very happy that he was recognized. And what boon you wanted? Duryodhana said, my only request is, please capture Yudhishthira. The Dronacharya asked, why capture? You didn't ask me to kill Yudhishthira. He said, I already thought about that one, but if you kill, do you think his brother Bhima will let us leave? And even if Pandavas, you kill all Pandavas, Krishna won't leave us. Krishna will appoint Kunti as a commander-in-chief, and he will finish us off. Or he may appoint Draupadi as a commander-in-chief and finish off. And but if you capture Yudhishthira, I can ask him to come for another game of dice. He can't refuse. And we will defeat him and shunt him to the forest again, and we'll eternally we will be happy. He never thought good about everyone. The reason behind appointing the commander-in-chief, also there is a selfishness. Everything. He never had won any war, but he used everyone for his benefit. Never trusted. He says, I know what is divine, but I don't want to follow. The divine quality. Somehow it doesn't gel with me. I want to be bad. I hear people also, they talk about, I don't want to be good, I want to be bad. They openly say, these days also, I myself have heard that one, demonic people, they say, we want to trouble others. That is my joy. That Ananda, even they heard people say, our Swarupa, inside, Julie asked the question, the inside, everyone is seeking the happiness. Demonic people derive happiness in troubling others. I want to make Christina unhappy. That is the joy. Everyone is seeking the happiness. How? It's different. Demonic people seek happiness by creating havoc outside. I'm so happy. They have blasted a bomb somewhere, people have died, they are so happy. So, that demonic nature. You can ask why God has created that way. Bhagavad Gita says, right from the beginning, these people are there. And somebody also asked, if Duryodhana was not there, we would not have been reading Mahabharata now. We would not have been reading Bhagavad Gita. Because of Duryodhana, we are reflecting on Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. If bad were not there, there is no glory for good people. Good people get glory because of the bad people. Despite bad, they are still good. That is why good people have good standing in the society. Despite odds, they are still good. If everyone is good, then there is no sadhana. Sadhana is not required. If no sadhana. When the odds are there, negative are there, we want to be different. The harder the challenge, devotees practice further. If everything is, there is no challenge, most of us are drawn to spirituality because we are tired of so many, like Julie said, heard about her friend passing. We hear so much of pain across, then we turn somewhere, where can I find solace? So much of pain, so much of trouble. Everywhere pain, trouble. What is that? Is the life is only this much or something else? These negative people instigate good people to dive deep into the sadhana. Okay?
You answered my question why they are here. The next question, and how to approach them? Because I was like in Yoga Sutras, there is a how we have to approach wicked people with indifference, or I don't remember the word in the sutra. So how we approach them? How
it's methods are said vitarka badane pratipaksha bhavanam. If you are surrounded by negative people, say in the workplace, so much of negativity, everyone is negative, and how do you can't keep on fighting with others. One option left is become part of them, or quit the job, or you counter that one with your positive thoughts. They are throwing out negative thoughts, you counter that one there with a positive thought. Vitarka badane pratipaksha bhavanam. We can't change the world. World is this way. Why we are doing the sadhana? It is a vitarka badane pratipaksha bhavanam. Two, there are so much of negativities coming to us from all dimensions. How to, like in the hospital, they put doctors are taking 5-6 times vaccination to stay healthy. So we are moving in the society, so much of negativity is there. We need a positive protection around so that negativities doesn't come to us. That is why everyday prayer, japa, meditation, these are helping you to build up positive aura around you. Positive aura doesn't allow negativities come and hit you. They are the shield around you, protecting. You do that one with your sadhana. Everyday sadhana. If you become part of that one, you will also become that one. How to stay immune to that one, that is all spirituality we are doing in various religion. One way or the other, they profess this one for this intention, for your protection.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah, any more comment?
I had a question very connected to that, Guruji. This is about how do you identify and deal with people that come with, I guess, hidden agendas, and should I even know it? Like, should I care?
No, you should know. You should keep your eyes always open. Otherwise, you will be taken for granted and you will become part of them. You should know where are the challenges. Then only you can deal with, know them, and avoidance, or as I said, your confront. If you think it won't get anywhere, then your sadhana, that divine aura around you will show you the path. Not to give up if it is that confront. For example, your top boss is very negative. For example, you can't confront. One is your sadhana. Do a sadhana such a way that if your sadhana is so good, whoever is negative, they will move from their job. They will move out. If your sadhana is good, otherwise you will find another opportunity to move on in your life. So hang on to the divine and do the sadhana. Yeah. Okay.
When you say do the sadhana, is it like just not think maybe about that situation, but just be positive and
the think and pray also. Please show me the way. Not to think is not possible if you are day to morning till evening you are working in that environment, and pray that please show me the way to overcome the situation which is putting a it's an obstacle in my journey, and pray with sincerity. You will find a Thank you. And any more?
More, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, as we have observed, kids they learn quickly when they are starting off. That is because they don't know any prior knowledge of anything. So whatever they see, they feel, they'll start learning, and whatever they learn, it goes back into their memory shell. Okay. So similarly, when we get in touch with the teacher, as we keep learning, there is a tendency to follow him. Not only his ideas, but the tendency may also be to copy the teacher. It is not only in this. Not only here. I've observed in the other profession also, where people try to follow whatever the leader says, or the bottom line is there is a bit of there is a tendency to follow. Now the question is, what tools, or how can we avoid those tendencies where we are learning in this path and at the same time trying to maintain, number one, connection with the teacher, number two, connection with ourselves, and maintaining individuality.
Yeah, thank you. And in Shat Prashna Upanishad, it talks about the teacher tells the student when they join the Gurukul, they say first 1 year, they say no class. All you are doing is just observe me for 1 year, and I will also observe. After 1 year, if you think you can gel with me, or if I think you are a fit student, I will admit. Otherwise, if you think you cannot gel, you are welcome to go. Where observation is important, and observation, role model. What is your role model? In your workplace also you need a role model. In children also you need a role model. That is why storytelling. You posted Sudha Murthy's message. We tell the stories to hear about the role models. Role models means we are not becoming like them, like this the rock star Elvis Presley, like dressing him like him or putting on the glasses like him, shoes like him. It is not becoming like him. Nobody can become like somebody. They will try to become for certain extent and they will follow their own nature. Sri Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita says, because of the compulsion of the nature is such that it will expose you. You can try to imitate somebody for certain distance and it will, because of the force of nature, your true nature will come out. And for example, if I am imitating Sachin Tendulkar, every shot I am playing like him, and people will call me, you are playing like Sachin Tendulkar. Nobody will identify me as myself, Rajendra. You are playing like Rajendra. Always they are associating like, you are like. What it is saying, our nature is, you don't become like. People should identify, you are Prashant. Not Prashant is like playing like Sachin Tendulkar or talking like Amitabh Bachchan. It is not like. You have to be original. Many students, they say, Guruji, you are the ultimate. Tell me whatever I have to do, I will do. They say, even shed tears after come 2-3 months. Sorry sir, I found some other teacher, I am going. So, even if they try to imitate, they say, really they don't mean anything. Teacher also should remember, if students are telling something, they are not true. Teacher also should know, it is a lip service. And student also, whatever a student says, they really don't mean. Only to get a lip service they do. The only that rare bhaktas, Sri Krishna talks about, that type of devotee like Rukmini, she tells in the prayer, I want you, this life itself as a husband, if not next life, if not 100 life, if not million life, but I don't care how long it takes. May my thought be always with you, time immemorial. It talks about very few try to be associated. Others only imitate for few days and drop off. That longing is we cannot imitate. Children try to imitate their father, but for very short duration, not for long. Okay. I don't know whether I answered, but I gave some other meaning to your question.
Oh, you gave me, sorry. I think you answered, but which other meaning I didn't.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I will listen to the recording again.
Any other question?
Guruji, I'll ask then. So we keep hearing about like one of the mantras, Hiranyagarbha. Is it talking about sun, or is it some connection with Adi Devtas?
Which one? Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha means another name of Brahma, golden egg, the universe. And Hiranmayena Patrena, that is mantra for, is that one you're referring to, or Hiranyagarbha?
Yeah, Hiranyagarbha, because a lot of Adi Devtas are said to like have born through it, if I'm not wrong, like Adi Shakti and Mahaganpati, and also, is it, they're talking about sun, or is it like the start of universe they're talking
No, it is from the Hiranyagarbha, it is ambasya pare bhuvanasya madhye nakasya prishte. It is talking about Brahma's another name. Universe is in the golden form, golden egg form, and or it is also in golden egg, or it is also called as Padma, lotus, is born through from the navel of Padmanabha, navel of the Lord. He has come out. It is it is called as Mahat Tattva. From Mahat Tattva, the four Vedas sound came, knowledge came. From the sound, the matter started producing. First sound was there. From the sound, Prapancha has happened. The science also talks about first Big Bang was there, after that creation. Big Bang, what our Vedas talk about, sound was there, Om was there all the time. That is, from there, the things have come out. When everything has gone, what remains is sound alone. What remains is sound alone, and when the creation happens, from the sound alone, things come out. That English, they talk about Big Bang theory. That is the sound alone exists. Om alone exists. Om is the name. Om itye ekaksharam brahma vyaharan ma manusmaran yaprayati tyajan deham nastyatra asamshayah. Om, when one departs, thinking about the primordial sound, what existed before, alone, one sound alone existed, one thinks of the sound Om. When the person dies, Eka Aksharam Brahma Vyaharan, at the same time thinking of me, Yaprayati Tyajan Deha, one who leaves the body, the connecting to the primordial sound and think of me, there is no rebirth. That is the primordial sound. You are hearing the sound, and long time back, about 30-40 years back, they interviewed Vijay Mallya, and they asked him the question, how do you want to die? And Vijay Mallya said, I want to die in sleep. While sleeping, I want to die, because I don't want to experience the pain. And few weeks later, they asked the question to Yesudas, how do you want to die? And Yesudas said, whatever way God wishes, let it be. Even I don't have a choice. That devotee, Yesudas, he said, it is God's wish. But Vijay Mallya said, I don't want to experience the pain. In Bhagavad Gita, in coming classes, it will come, if you die in sleep, Muda yonishu jayate, you are in deep sleep, you have died, you go into that type of body. When a yogi dies, consciously living the body, thinking about that sound, that soul goes higher, goes up. If you sleep in unconscious state, drunken and drugged and dies, that muda yonishu jayate. Always the yogi aspires to leave the body consciously, and if somebody is dying, not to cry in front of them, and pray for them, and some good vibes, not even mantras, not too loud, very pleasing sound. Pleasing sound. Let the soul, departing soul, concentrate, not to disturb. I told in the class also, I told last Sunday, Saturday in class, Saddam Hussein, when he was in the gallows. In the last minute, he wanted to do his prayer. But all the soldiers who were there in the prison authorities, they started screaming, yelling, and they said, "You can't pray." They did not allow him to pray also. So disturbing. Even the last minute he could not say his verses, think of God. If you are negative, something will stop. We all aspire that may we live quietly, depart quietly in peace without being disturbed by others. Your near ones and dear ones, they should not be around us and crying and screaming when we are departing. Let us depart in. That is why in scripture says a dying person should move out of the house. Move out of the house. House means so much of disturbance. Die somewhere away from the home, away from the friends and relatives, so that you can concentrate and depart with the direction and take the direction you want to go. It is regarding death, I will talk about some other time, but in a nutshell, somehow this topic came up because Julie started with this topic. That is why we are finishing with that topic. And now the Upanishad. The Upanishad I talked about last week, Mundaka Upanishad. What happens when we realize the light? Repeat again. Vidyate hridaya granthi. Vidyate hridaya granthi. Chidyante sarva samshayaha. Chidyante sarva samshayaha. Kshiyante chasya karmani. Kshiyante chasya karmani. Tasmin drishte paravare. Asmin drishte paravare. Tasmin drishte paravare. Vidyate, when we realize the highest, what happens? All knots will get untangled in the heart. We say, with the heavy-hearted, I heard that news, I'm heavy-hearted, overburdened. There is no burden. We feel very light within. Chidyante sarva samshayaha, no more doubts. Kshiyante chasya karmani, there is no urge in you to do more. Here I have so much of urge, I have to do that one, I have to do that one. When you have that experience, you have no urge to do, because inside there is no drive. When that urge is there, I have to do, that means my karma is not yet finished. And not yet finished, and I have to do. The kshiyante chasya karmani, there is no urge in me. I am satisfied. When you reach the destination, you don't feel like traveling further. You are satisfied. That is tasmin drishte paravare. One who has experienced the highest, these are the experience. And the next one, it is talking about what we are seeking in our sadhana. Repeat after me. Another one. Hiranmaye pare koshe. Hiranmaye pare koshe. Virajam brahma nishkalam. Virajam brahma nishkalam. Tatshubram jyotisham jyoti. Tatshubram jyotisham jyoti. Tadedatma vido viduhu. Tadedatma vido viduhu. Hiranmaye pare koshe. This mantra, it is talking about Hiranmaye. Whatever most enchanting things we see, they are stopping us seeking further. The enchanter, I talked about Patanjali Yoga Sutra, 3rd chapter of Patanjali Sutra, Vibhuti Pada. It talks about so much of enchantments. Enchantments come in our path to distract us, attract us towards that one, so that our journey gets derailed. It is talking about beyond all temptations and attractions, Virhiranmaye pare koshe virajam viraja. Raja means rajasic quality. Rajasic quality means disturbing qualities. Viraja means sattvic quality. Beyond all temptations, allurements, what we see, they are made up of rajasic quality. Beyond that one, sattvic quality is there. Brahma, Supreme Lord. Brahma means Brihat, the highest possible, is there. Virajam, Brahma Nishkalam. He is without any taint, no allurement. I will give a story also. Tat Shubram, that is most pure. Jyotisham Jyoti, light of all light, which illumines everything. The sattvic quality illumines all qualities. Tad yadatma vido iduhu. The seekers, all seekers, are aspiring for that one sattvic quality, the highest, without any blemish, most pure, the light of all lights, which illumines everything. Tad yadatma, that the all seekers, he is the Atma of Atma. His illumines everyone's heart. Seekers seek that one. That quickly I will wrap up with a story. In Badrinath, we are going to Badrinath, Narayan Parvat. Narayan is given in the meditative form. He was meditating. Indra thought he got, because of his Maya, Narayan, he is meditating. Maybe he wants to occupy my seat. So he got scared, and he sent called Kama, who's that Kamadeva, who's the one who distracted Shiva. Shiva was doing the tapas, and Parvati wanted to marry him. She approached Kama, and he went there, and Shiva got so angry, he disturbed, and he burnt him. Kama is nothing but Skanda. He was born as Shiva's son Subramanya, and he was Kama. Shiva could not manage his, when tempted, Kama was suppressed, but it came out as an anger. Indra thought Narayana is meditating, maybe for my seat. He sent through Kama to send all the apsaras from the Swargaloka. He sent all apsaras to Narayana. Narayana was meditating. He looked at this Kama along with all apsaras, and he heartily laughed and said, "Please come, take my hospitality." And Shiva got angry, whereas Narayana heartily welcomed and hospitality, and asked, these are the only beautiful one Surgaloka has? I think Indra need more. So from his thigh he produced, he brought out apsaras called as from thigh. It has come as Urvashi. Urvashi means from Uru. From the thigh she came out, Urvashi, and gave Indra as a present. You take her to your Surgaloka. Indra was so ashamed, Kama was so ashamed, and that is a sattvic quality. Tat virajam brahma nishkalam. No distraction, sattvic to the core. and no anger. It did not translate into anger as in the case of Shiva. Virajam, sattvic quality, most pure. Tatshubram, that is purer than that. Highest, the seekers always aspire for that beyond all blemish. They are seeking that one. Yadatma vido viduhu. This mantra he is talking about. Seek that one, the highest. When you start seeking, all rajoguna, tamoguna in your heart melts down, and sattvic guna dawns. And earlier you are so susceptible to anger, subsides. The purity dawns. You cannot be shaken. That is what Julie asked the question. Consciousness. What is that ideal? That is what we are seeking. We are moving towards that one. That is the sadhana. Om Dyo Shanti.
Om Dyo Shanti.
Antariksham Shanti.
Antariksham Shanti.
Prithvi Shanti.
Prithvi Shanti.
Apash Shanti.
Apash Shanti.
Vanaspataya Shanti.
Vanaspataya Shanti.
Oshadaya Shanti.
Oshadaya Shanti.
Vishve Deva Shanti.
Vishve Deva Shanti.
Brahma Shanti.
Brahma Shanti.
Sarvam Shanti.
Sarvam Shanti.
Shantireva Shantihi.
Shantireva Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Namo Namaha. Dev, you have